What's up guys, it's Trevor and I'm back with another video. Today I will show you guys how to find a manufacturer and how to manufacture clothes yourself if you want to be more hands-on. On screen there should be timestamps to skip around to whatever part you want to watch. If you go on to enjoy today's video, drop a like and subscribe if you're new. It helps me out a ton. Anyways, let's get straight into the video. If you guys are wanting to use a manufacturer to manufacture your clothes, there's two different methods. You can use Alibaba or an Instagram manufacturer. I've used Instagram manufacturers in the past and I've had horrible time with them, whether it be with horrible quality, that be screenprint, or the actual fabric they use, inconsistent deadlines, as in they promise a deadline and they don't hit that deadline. But the communication with Instagram manufacturers has always been pretty good. Most Instagram manufacturers I've seen are from Pakistan. It's like the most common country. Instagram Pakistan manufacturers usually have no MOQ, so minimum order quantity, which can help a lot if you're starting out. However, it's up to you to decide. I really have no recommendations because I have not had anybody I would actually recommend to you guys. However, what I recommend and what I use now is Alibaba, and most manufacturers on Alibaba are actually located in China. On Alibaba, you can choose what country you want your manufacturer to be from, but I recommend China. I've had the best experience with China manufacturers, as well as the quality is always A1. So to start on Alibaba, when you first get here, your page might look a little different than me. I'm not sure where, but there should be a place for you to make an account. Just set up an account real quick. I'm pretty sure it's relatively easy and straightforward. So once you have your account set up and you're ready to actually get a sample, you come to this and make sure it's on products. That'll bring us to a page with a bunch of selections, and you always where it says supplier features, click trade assurance as well as verified supplier, and you want to make sure both of these are checked. If both of these are checked, the odds of you getting scammed by your manufacturer is basically none, because for verified supplier, I'm pretty sure Alibaba has somebody come out to the actual factory. A person actually verifies that it's a real company and a real factory, and I think that also costs like $10,000 or something a year for them to have that. So obviously any scam company is not going to be forking out that money or having a person come out to verify their factory. Trade assurance, I'm pretty sure, is an extra barrier for your money, so you won't get scammed. And if you do happen to get scammed, you can actually get your money back through Alibaba with a refund. Trade assurance also lets you use like your debit card or your credit card to pay, or PayPal to pay for your samples or your bulk production. So I always recommend having these supplier features on. I personally always have them on, and I would just say it's smart to have them on. So that's about the only thing I put on these filters. I haven't really messed with or looked into any of these filters. So once you're on a page like this, there's a bunch of listings. All these listings are basically manufacturers that are posting about what they're creating. And a lot of them, as you can see, use stock photos that look horrible. I'm not sure if they use these because they think we want to see that or what. So as you're scrolling and you see all these different listings, pick out, I would say, at least 2 to 3 different ones so that you can get different quotes from them all. So once you actually open up the listing page, you'll be hit with a super long title that just has keywords in it. And then the color and size and samples, none of this really matters. I would just recommend contacting the supplier. But before you even contact the supplier, I recommend reading the reviews if they have any. Go in reviews and it should bring you down to this. And I also go to product details. Sometimes they'll have information about it. For example, they have a video right here that shows one of their products they've made. It has a nice puff print on it. Looks pretty good quality. And then right here, OEM, ODM and OBM. I'm not sure what OBM means, but if it's OEM, that basically means they can use your measurements and they're not just printing on a blank. If you don't want to make your own measurements and you just want to use the factory's measurement, which that's usually hit or miss. Sometimes their measurements will be very tight fitting. Other times they'll be looser. That just varies so much because they're in China and their sizing works differently than the United States. But if you want full control over your material, make sure you have an OEM manufacturer. And then you can also look at their MOQ, which is 50. So that means you'd have to order at least 50 hoodies. Some manufacturers on their listing, they advertise as a higher MOQ, but if you message them, they'll actually be like, we actually have no MOQ. So that all varies. Always recommend just reaching out to the manufacturer and checking, because they can usually go lower than what they advertise on their listing. And then you can look at the bulk time, which says about 20 to 25 working days. So about 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Scroll down even farther. They tell you exactly what they do at their factory. So they can do embroidery, rhinestones, tie-dye, different types of printing. They can do 3D embossing, puff print. On their frequently asked questions, they say, are you a manufacturer trading company? Trading company will basically be a middleman service. So they don't actually manufacture the clothes, but as you can see, it says they manufacture. So you're directly talking to the manufacturer and not talking to like a middleman. And a lot of these different listings will have basically kind of the same setup. So on this listing, they actually have a size chart with what their sizing is, which you can compare that to blanks that are made in America. So I always recommend reaching out to multiple manufacturers. This will get you your lowest price possible with the best quality. You can also get samples from multiple manufacturers if you have that type of capital to work with. I always personally recommend getting samples from multiple places and then figuring out what's the best for the best price. So I have a little image on screen of what you should send your manufacturer before you even start with anything. Basically just ask about past work they've done for other brands, pictures with that, their MOQ, which stands for minimum order quantity. That basically means the minimum order you can place with them for them to actually accept your order. From there on, you can ask about what type of fabrics they offer, what weight of the fabrics they offer. So the next way to get your clothes manufactured is doing it yourself. If you really want to be hands-on, you can get a sewing machine. I personally have a sewing machine, but I've yet to touch it. I would really only recommend investing like that if you're really committed. But obviously, as the orders grow, you won't be able to do it yourself because it'll only take ages. But starting out, or if you're doing one-of-one pieces, it can be of great use. You can also screen print yourself, which this is how I started my brand for the first probably year. I started out with a simple one color design screen print press kit. I went to screenprinting.com, which is also Ryanet. You can go to their starter and DIY kits. And I started with this exact kit right here, the DIY Print Shop Original T-shirt screen printing kit. When I first bought it, I think it was like $260. It's a little more pricey now, but it basically includes everything you need to start screen printing. I definitely recommend this kit if you're really wanting to screen print yourself. Only limitation is it's only a one color press, so you'd only be able to do one color designs, unfortunately. But it is a good way to get your foot in the door if you're interested in doing hands-on. The next press I actually upgraded to was a 4-color. Basically everything in here except for the exposure unit I use. It's a little more pricey, as you can see. You have no limitations with color. You can use 4 different colors, and if you're doing CMYK prints, you basically can do any color. If you're super serious and you have the capital and you really want to screen print yourself, I would definitely recommend this. I've only used this press probably 3 times since I bought it. I also recommend, if you are going to get into screen printing yourself, go to Facebook Marketplace, and there's going to be probably tons of listings. So as long as you don't live in the middle of nowhere, of people selling their screen printing shops or hobbyers that just decided to quit, and you can usually get yourself a steal. I think I actually got my 4-color press brand new. I believe it's like around $600 with shipping. I got mine used, basically used like couplety like 3 or 4 times, and I think I paid $400, and that included shipping. I found mine on eBay. I really don't live in a poppin' city, but if you live in a poppin' city, you should be able to get one on Facebook Marketplace relatively cheap. I can make a whole super long video about how to screen print for beginners if you're interested in that video. Once you have your press, you can go to a blank website. This is a website I used for when I first started and I didn't have an EIN number. I used Jiffy Shirts, and you can get wholesale prices. So I always recommend, if you're doing a streetwear brand, to do a 6-ounce shirt. The All Style 1301, always a legendary blank to go with. Super affordable. I would not recommend selling this shirt for over like $15 to $20. The quality isn't worth more than 20 bucks in my opinion. But if you're selling $10 shirts or $15 shirts, strongly recommend this blank. They have literally a ton of colors. They have 36 colors in total. Once you buy your blanks, you can basically start screen printing. I'm not super heavy into screen printing as much as I was when I first started my brand, because now I'm doing full cut and sewn everything. I rarely screen print nowadays, maybe like once every 2 months, but this is always a nice option if you guys are interested in doing more hands-on. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy it and it helped you in any way, be sure to drop a like on the video. It helps greatly. And if you're brand new to the channel, subscribe. I have a new collection coming out for my brand in March, early March. You guys could drop my brand a follow. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you guys go on to enjoy the rest of your day. This has been Trevor, and I'm out. Peace.